Welcome to the show. As you can obviously tell, it's winter outside. And outside in winter doesn't really combine well with like playing paintball in the woods. So this week we're going to do a quick primer on indoor play. And we're here at Paintball Days in downtown Milwaukee, and let's get out of the cold. It's freezing out here. Playing indoor paintball is not much unlike playing outdoor paintball, except that you've got things like a roof over your head and warmth and running water, which actually comes in handy. There are some safety things that you do need to know about before going onto an indoor field, so we're going to talk about those first and progress from there. And of course I got to come back to the camera. I feel like that Survivor Man guy all of a sudden, I don't know why. The major safety difference between indoor and outdoor paintball is the velocity of your paintball marker. When you play outdoors, the velocity can be anywhere from 275 to 300 feet per second because when you've got a lot of space. When you're playing indoors, you're kind of cramped in. So the velocity of a paintball marker indoors is usually between 230 to 250 feet per second. So before you go play, you're going to have to chronograph your marker. Another thing you want to do when you're playing indoors is pay attention to the field rules. Every individual indoor field has their own specific rules that are special to them. And the reason is because, well, paintball is a lot like water. It fills to fit its container. So when you're playing paintball indoors, you might have things like uneven surfaces, you might have poles that are holding up the building, you might have specific things that you might want to watch out for. Pay attention during orientation because these are the things that they're going to have to tell you about. There also might be special rules concerning things like point-blank shooting or bunkering. Every field is different, so always pay attention to the refs. Another thing about indoor paintball is that the goggles on area is always well defined, but you've got to really know where it is. Some indoor fields don't have a goggles off area that is conveniently located on the field. So if you get shot, you might have to go into a safe area, but it's not a goggles off area. So again, if you have any questions, make sure you ask your referee before you continue playing. Doesn't figure. I break a ball in the barrel, but I'm not even playing. Let's talk a little bit about gear. You don't need to buy brand new gear in order to play paintball indoors than you do outdoors. I busted out all the old stuff I used to wear back in the day, specifically to show you that you don't have to do that. Your normal paintball marker will work just fine once you dial the velocity down. Your normal paintball goggles, they're absolutely great for indoors. Your squeegees, your elbow pads, your knee pads, all that stuff is going to work absolutely great indoors if you like playing with it outdoors. If money is absolutely burning a hole in your pocket and you absolutely need to buy some new stuff to go play indoors, you don't have to, but a couple of recommendations. Good barrel sock, always good to have, you can't have enough of these things. Maybe extra padding, like a neck protector, or maybe a male protective device. You might look for a smaller barrel, because long guns indoors kind of a little bit of a hindrance. So get like a smaller barrel, you're good to go. Not too small though, if you run like, no accuracy with no barrel. You know, I don't wear a cup when I play, and I paid the price a couple times, but they don't make them big enough. I also want to take a few moments to talk about goggle lenses. A lot of people ask what's the best kind of lens to use for indoors. Well, beyond the fact that you want a paintball lens in there. But a lot of people ask, is yellow good, is clear good, is mirror good, is red good, blue good, whatever. The truth of the matter is that clear is still the best option when you're playing indoors. And the reason is that a lot of indoor fields, especially if you go to concept fields, they have funky lighting, they have all sorts of effects going on, and if you're wearing a colored lens, it's going to mess with your vision even more than the colored lights will. So, stick with clear, you can't go wrong. Now that being said, if yellow works for you, great. Keep it up. Keep using yellow lenses because the only way you learn is by experimenting. I also want to take a moment to talk about one thing that every indoor paintball field has in common, and that is the floor. Every paintball field believes that they have the ultimate solution to what the flooring problem is, and that is that the floor always gets messed up and nasty. And the reason for that is paint. See, unlike outdoor paintball fields, indoor paintball fields, the paint doesn't degrade because it's not outside, it's not in the elements. So it collects, it pools up, it gets everywhere. That's just part of paintball. And every paintball field I've been to thinks that they have the ultimate solution to this problem. They put down different types of flooring surfaces, they put down stuff over the flooring surfaces, they do whatever. But the reality is that there's always going to be one pool of paint on the floor and you're going to hit it.
Got that too.
So what it comes down to is you have to be aware. You have to be aware that the paintball surface that you're playing on is not exactly level and flat. Plan ahead. Wear sensible shoes. I like to wear something that gives me a little bit of ankle support because I've been on some indoor paintball fields that are real ankle twisters. So do your homework. Before you go to a field, check out their website, check out pictures from the website, and look at the floor. See what they've got as a flooring surface, and then plan accordingly. Playing in indoor facilities can be a completely unique experience than playing outdoors. Some indoor facilities are going to put up airball bunkers, they're going to put up pipes or stuff, in which case it's just like playing an outdoor speedball field, in which case, you know, that's fine, that's a lot of fun, don't get me wrong. But some fields have theming, or they have scenario fields, or they have concept fields. So how do you play scenario fields like this? Well, it's not really unlike playing regular paintball out in the woods, but it's like tighter. And we could do an entire show talking about MOUT, talking about urban warfare, talking about playing buildings, and... Hey, wait a minute. There's an idea. Yeah, I know, I'm evil. Blah, blah, blah. Tyger's so